that allow them to be hunters that don't show themselves. They're an ambush hunter. Now, this is a pretty big mistake, but the biggest mistake that people make up in Northern Australia is actually going down into the water, into the crocodile's habitat. Good luck, mate.
Thanks, mate. So, this right here is a pretty stupid mistake. You're down here within the crocodile strike zone. You're where he's the most dangerous. He gets nice and keen. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Hey. Take a foot. I missed that, mate. He's going from my toes. Don't miss. Don't miss. Don't miss. Ah, give it up for him.
Wow, that was shocking. Hey, Nero, can you grab that?
Does anyone else want to come and go?
Now, like I said, Bluey has got
3 pieces of bread.
Bluey's got a lot of attitude, and I'm going to be completely honest. Most days he's out here chasing us down rather than trying to get the food. So, hopefully nothing goes wrong. We'll see what we can do. Bluey, come over here, mate. See if Nero can get this one in. Good luck.
I'll take him across. We'll see mode, Grego.
Right, I'm going to grab this one, Bluey. Thank you.
Come on, Bluey.
Bringing himself to the creek over there.
He's switched on today, he's firing. So straight away, as soon as we move away from him, he's chasing us. He wants us to get away. The only way he knows how to do that is with those big teeth in his head. But as soon as he goes back to the water, he's going back into his hunting stalk mode. He's underneath the water surface. And what he's doing is he's going to be hunting through the vibrations and through those pressure changes I'm sending out in the water. So he doesn't have to pop up, show himself, have a look at what's going on. And you can imagine if this was dark, dirty, murky water, like crocodiles are found in the wild, you would not know that he's right there, slowly turning, slowly stalking. So if you stay here or stay in the water or next to the water's edge for too long, he has the best chance of striking out, grabbing that silly animal and pulling it back to the water. So Hamish is going to try and give him a feed over here.
Yeah, let's see how we go. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but there's a little bit less room on this side of the creek, so if I do go a bit quiet or I sound a bit nervous, because I am, but absolutely keep an eye on Bluey as he moves through the shallow water. Bluey is an absolute weapon of a crocodile, and realistically, everything that you're seeing here is exactly how they'd be operating in the water. They're not out there sort of crashing, bashing across the surface. They really are a predator that's going to try to get the best chance of catching a bite to eat. Because in the wild, if they show themselves to every animal that comes down to the water, that animal is never going to come back for a drink. So they've got to make sure that they make it count, so that on that first go, they grab that animal, dispatch it quick, get it back into the water, and get themselves a bite to eat. Because realistically, they may not get a feed for a few weeks or even a few months after that. And these guys are really quite lazy predators, which is right now, he's not convinced that he's going to be actually able to put on a good strike for us. He wants to give himself the best chance. Come on, mate, come on this way.
As soon as he goes on, stop around.
Yeah, and have a look at him as he moves through that shallow water there. He barely breaks the surface, and if it was deep, dark and murky, you'd have no idea that a croc was moving through that shallow water. There you go, give it up for him. How good is that? Now you guys at the front there got a pretty good look at those teeth. He's got about 64 to 70 bullet-shaped teeth, and they are designed to interlock and grab that food and never let go. But the really intimidating part is actually the jaw pressure behind those teeth. Now these guys got more jaw pressure than any other animal on planet Earth. About 3,500 pounds per square inch. And to put that into perspective, that is more pressure than the brakes of the jumbo jet and more pressure than the machines at the tip that crush cars down into little cubes. The next closest animal is a hippo with only 1,500. Now, these guys will hunt from the water's edge, but they're just going to show us another place that they can catch themselves a bite to eat.
Yeah, exactly. So we call this one the tail walk, and what he's going to do, he's going to launch himself, he's pretty keen shells, launch himself vertically upwards, straight up and out of the water. So once he's locked onto that movement, he can get over half his body length straight up and out of the water. And the cool thing is, I mean, he's been doing this for quite a long time in the zoo in different enclosures, but he has only been in the Crocoseum for a very short amount of time, so he's still learning the routine of the Crocoseum Show. He's got a frontal lobe so he can learn and remember patterns and behaviours. That's why it takes a little bit to get him out in the creek and get him to do what he wants to do. But as soon as he comes over to the tail walk ramp, he sees the ramp, he knows exactly what he has to do, plants his feet, launches up and grabs whatever's overhanging the water. So it's something you have to keep in mind when you're up in Northern Australia. You have to be wary of that tail walk and crop.
Absolutely. Now, we'll bring him around this side and we'll put on one last hit up on land and hopefully put to bed a bit of a myth about crocodiles. And that's that they are fast up on land. Now,
I think you already proved that after that first strike, mate. It's pretty fast.
He's pretty quick, Louis, but let's see how we go. Good luck, Aaron.
Going boy. So, again, he's underneath the water, he's moving over, he's hoping I can't see him, he'll pull his legs forward, and get set up. Come on, boy. He'll do his strike. Get on, big fella, up the food. Then, give it up for him. He's a weapon. So, he's slowed down a fair bit now, especially after that first strike and after that run, and there's a couple other strikes around the enclosure. That wasn't for you, man, I was throwing it out of the way. He builds up lactic acid super quickly. He's pretty much all muscle, and then he's quite heavy. He probably weighs about 250 kilos, and he has short little stumpy legs, a pretty big round belly, and then behind him he has that big, long, beautiful tail that in the water makes him super fast, about as fast as a dolphin over short distances. Gives him the power to do those massive strikes from the water's edge, building up all that power in the tail. But when he is up on land, it's like us trying to walk around with a couple of ties tied around our waist. So he's very reluctant to want to come out of the water and want to chase an animal down. Obviously he's pretty keen to do it today because he's pretty fired up. But especially in the wild, he knows that there's a big chance that he's going to strike out and try and chase up and down and miss it. So a kangaroo or feral pig are a lot faster than he is on land. And once he misses that animal once, it's never going to come back down to the water. So he wants to make sure that animal is lulled into a false sense of security, stays within that danger zone for long enough, so he sticks their head in the water and has a drink, and within the strike zone, so he has that best chance of that animal being there and not getting out of the way in time before he strikes out, grabs it, ideally on the head, pulls it back into the water and it's all over. So he relies on the animal being here and not necessarily up here like where Hamish is super safe. So a couple of simple rules that you can follow when you're up in Northern Australia, when you're around wild crocodiles to stay safe. The first one, staying about 4 to about 5 metres back from the water's edge. You're out of that strike range he can do from the tip of his nose to the base of his tail. So if you're that distance back from Bluey, maybe that's only 1.5 meters, 2 metres. But for the biggest recorded crocodile, who's about 7 metres long, he could strike out about 4 metres. So if you're 5 metres back, even the biggest crocodile in the waterway can't strike out and he can't grab you on that initial strike. The second thing you have to do is what I showed you over there, the tail walk. Avoid overhanging the water. People have been taken by that tail walk method in the past. You know, they've climbed over low-lying branches, they've dangled their legs down and a crocodile struck up, grabbed them and pulled them in. And then the third rule, and it's probably the most simple of the 3 rules you have to follow, but it's the one people seem to break every single day. I guarantee there's probably someone doing it right now. It's stinking hot, they want to cool down, they jump in the water to swim, they're either going knee-deep to have a better spot to have a fish, if not jumping right out in the middle to splash around and have a good time. For a crocodile who's an opportunistic hunter, his job is to take out the sick and the weak and the unwise animals in that ecosystem, the easy feeds, and you jump out in the water and you start splashing around, acting like a dying feral pig or a dying kangaroo, he thinks, awesome, an easy feed, I'm going to come over, I'm going to clean up my environment and get a free feed out of it, not knowing the person is having a good time. So we reckon we're the smarter of the 2 species, so we have to start acting that way. Avoid those couple of simple spots where crocodiles are dangerous, and then you won't come into conflict with a big saltwater crocodile just like Louis. Good to go.
Absolutely, man. Now, obviously, the crocodile is one of the most incredible animals, and Nero and myself know that, but we don't expect you guys to go away loving it quite as much as Nero and myself. We're a little bit fanatical. But if you can just understand how incredibly important the crocodile is to our northern ecosystems, they keep absolutely every other species in that ecosystem safe and healthy. These guys have been evolving for well over 200 million years to fill that ecological niche, and we need them in our environments to keep everything else running. Now, Steve up there on the big screen, he loved Crocs absolutely everything he had, and that was really no secret to anyone. What he did was he passed on that passion and enthusiasm to everyone who works here at the zoo, and probably to a whole heap of you as well. So on that note, I'd like to thank you for coming to Australia Zoo today, helping us keep Steve's dream and this beautiful planet alive. Thanks everyone, have a great afternoon.